And you know what? This is like Jeremiah after you listen to that. I feel like a movie star.
Well, the thing is, it just changes. And I think at first,
Now, I heard an interview with Brian.
and it makes it tighter. It lasts longer. Because after time, you know.
Oh, yeah. That's your mom? Yeah.
Yeah. And look at it. Is that gonna go? Is that not? Yeah. The hidden stitch and all that kind of stuff, and how to do it in the corners and curves, and how to make my own tassels and all that kind of stuff. This particular bag that I made, inspired by alligators. So the one side of the bag, this is the back of the alligator. Then you move across the other side of the strap, and it's the alligator's tail through the water, going back and forth and making little swirls in the water. So, and this part of the bag is the alligator swimming through the water. Bandolier bags, a lot of them are associated with the Second Seminole War, because a lot of the paintings and descriptions from that time period, you'll see are people wearing them, mostly the men, wearing the bandolier bags. The bandolier bags were prominent in a lot of our leaders. It was, I don't know, a sign of leadership, I guess is the way to put it. But inside the bag, they would carry things that were important to them, whether it was medicine. When they got sick, that medicine would be kept in the bag, tobacco, all sorts of things like that.
I get a lot of inspiration from, like, you know, my community. You got all the doll makers, you got all the basket makers, you have all the beaters. There's a lot of seamstresses, so there's a lot of inspiration, like, from within the community that, you know, they express themselves in that way. And my way is painting. I hate the term, like, native artists or native artwork, because, like, to me, you know, it's just me. I'm just an artist, and this is kind of like, I don't know, like, I would do stuff like this, and a lot of people like it, and, you know, like, outside it's kind of like viewed as like, oh, that's native art. It's like, no, it's just art. Like, I don't know, it's just me.
I like art and jewelry and so forth, so seeing the crafts exhibition was really interesting, and reading about where they got the materials from and so forth, and how important it was to their survival, really, as well as their own livelihood. You know, the women wearing beads, these mountains of beads and so forth.
The yelling, and the women, they would carry, you could see here the turtle shells, they would strap it to their legs, and when they...
And right behind you, this is our sport.
Figured out it cost them money, so it's better to have working pens at each ranch or whatever. Stayed with that Andalusian cattle, they probably wouldn't be able to stay in the cattle business because it don't make...
I like to look to see what's new. It helps me to remember my culture, who I am, and just to see, I guess, the generation now and what they've created.
DNA is still within that original herd, and just you saying that. European ways of thinking, you know, if it's fine arts, paintings, sculptures, you know, what's the difference between somebody sitting there and using that time to make a doll out of palmetto making artwork out of beads, making woodwork. It's the same efforts, it's the same process. It's using those same creative minds that go and love goes into that art to express themselves. So for us, we don't see that difference, you know, between fine arts and crafts. One of the things people think about Seminoles is that our history, our people, our lineage ended about 1850s after the Third Seminole War. That's when the textbooks usually, our story usually ends. And for us to express ourselves and to tell everybody that we are here, we're still present, we're still thriving, but we have one foot in our past, we have one foot in the present, and then we'll always look into the future for that next step.